Good afternoon, my lovely nurses. I hope you are fine and your family is good. Today, my topic is synchronized cardioversion. The synchronized cardioversion, I will give one example there. Uh, why we are using synchronized cardioversion. The synchronized cardioversion, just imagine you are working in emergency department. A patient suddenly develop very fast or irregular, very fast or irregular the heart rhythm that can make the patient dizzy, faint, or even put them at risk for cardiac arrest. So patient is in emergency, sudden the heart rate become fast and irregular. Patient is feeling dizzy and the faint, and even this condition can be go to the cardiac arrest. So as a nurse, we must act quickly and fastly to restore our normal heartbeat. So one of the key intervention that we are using in this condition, that is synchronized cardioversion. This is a controlled electric shock delivered to the heart in sync with its rhythm to correct the dangerous arrhythmias, because patient heartbeat is fast, irregular. So we are using synchronized cardioversion to make the heart rate normal. First of all, we will define the synchronized cardioversion. What is synchronized cardioversion? The synchronized cardioversion is a medical procedure. That gives a controlled electric shock. Controlled electric shock to the heart. So is a medical procedure, controlled electric shock to the heart to bring it back to normal rhythm. So we are giving synchronized cardioversion to the heart to bring it back the normal rhythm or normal heart rate. You can think of it like resetting the heart rhythm when it's beating abnormally, but the heart is still beating, but we are bringing the resetting the heart rhythm once the heart rhythm become abnormal. When do we have to use it? The synchronized cardioversion, there are some conditions when we are using this synchronized cardioversion. So used when the heart is beating too fast but the person still have a pulse. This is a key point here, is the NCLEX question exam. When we are using the heart is beating fast but the person still has a pulse, these are called unstable tachyarrhythmias. Unstable tachyarrhythmias. So for example, I will give some example there. For example, AF mean atrial fibrillation, then atrial flutter, then SVT means supraventricular tachycardia, and VTAC. VTAC mean ventricular tachycardia but with pulse. This is the key point here, ventricular tachycardia but with pulse. If the heart has no pulse, if there is no pulse, we should have to use defibrillation. Note the cardioversion. Cardioversion we are using with pulse. But if patient don't have pulse, we will use defibrillation. What does synchronized mean? There is one word is synchronized. So what's the meaning of synchronized? So synchronized meaning is the timed with R wave on ECG. So the word synchronized mean timed with R wave on ECG. The machine gives the shock exactly on the R wave. If we will see the normal ECG, we have P, Q, R, S. So the synchronized word meaning here, the machine, the cardioversion machine gives the shock exactly at the R wave, not at the T wave, not at T wave. So to prevent causing a dangerous rhythm, because if the shock will go to the T wave, it's mean the patient will have a dangerous rhythm like ventricle fibrillation, VFib, DFib. So never forget to on the sync button. Always on the sync button on the machine whenever we are using cardioversion. Never forget to on the sync button. Always on the sync button. So once the is on a synchronized mode, it's mean we set the time and the electric shock exactly will go to the R wave, not to the T wave. So the shock is in sync with the heartbeat. So the shock is in sync with the heartbeat. So this is very important here. The synchronized mean we set the time and the shock will be delivered only on the R wave, not on the T wave. Now I will talk about the procedure steps. The procedure steps is the number one, we should have to explain to the patient what will happen. So one will be the explain if patient is conscious, if patient can give the consent. So explain, take the informed consent. Number two, give sedation or pain medication because shock is painful. So we have to give sedation or any pain medication, that because the shock is the painful procedure. Number three, attach ECG monitor and defibrillator pads to the chest. Defib pads to the chest, because the heart rhythm can change anytime. Maybe during cardioversion the heart rate will go to the ventricle fibrillation. So always prepare patient, the defibrillator pads always be there to the chest. Set the machine, that is very important. Set the machine to the sync mode. If you will see on the machine, there is a one sync mode. Always set the machine to sync mode. This is very important here. Number 5, the next is select the energy level. Select the energy level. Usually we are giving 500 to 200 joules. 50 to 200 joules. I am sorry, 50 to 200 joules we are giving is depending on the rhythm as per doctor orders. But mostly we are giving 50 to 200 joules. The next is press charge button. Charge, then shock. So first charge, then shock when the R wave is marked. So press charge, then shock when the R wave is marked. Check rhythm after shock. Always check the heart rate. Always check the rhythm after the shock. We can repeat if still abnormal, is depend on the doctor orders. So we can repeat as per the doctor orders. So normally steps, we have to take the informed consent of the patient. We have to give sedation. We have to attach ECG monitor and defibrillator pads. We have to set the this cardioversion machine on the sync mode. Then we have to select the energy level, mostly usually this 50 to 200 joules. It's depend on the rhythm. Press charge, then shock when the R wave is marked. Check rhythm after shock and repeat if still is abnormal but is as per the doctor orders. Here I want to tell you some important safety points here, that is very important. The safety points: never deliver shock if sync mode is not turned on. Never deliver shock. Never deliver shock if sync mode is not on. Sync mode is not on. If you on the shock, even this is not on the sync mode, what will happen? The ventricular fibrillation can happen. So always on the sync mode. The number 2 is always sedate if patient is conscious. Always sedate if patient is conscious. The next is keep oxygen away from patient during shock. When you are giving the shock to the patient, always keep oxygen away. Never keep oxygen near to the patient during shock delivery. Make sure no one is touching the patient. No one is touching the patient. The patient during shock. Say loudly clear. Whenever you are giving shock to the patient, say loudly clear. No anyone will touch the patient. Here I also want to discuss, that is very important, the cardioversion versus defibrillation. Mean the difference between cardioversion and the defibrillation I divided into 3 parts: features, cardioversion and the defibrillation. So features mean the rhythm type. Rhythm type. Rhythm type, if when we are giving cardioversion, if patient has heart is beating but has pulse. In this condition we are giving cardioversion, but the defibrillation, heart stopped, no pulse. Cardioversion, patient have heartbeat, has pulse. In this condition we are giving cardioversion, but the defibrillation we are giving, heart is stopped, there is no pulse. Then the second feature is ECG sync. So ECG sync for the cardioversion, yes, we have to on sync mode. For the cardioversion we have to on sync mode, but in the defibrillation, no. Unsynchronized. No need to on sync mode. That is unsynchronized. Cardioversion is synchronized, mean we have to on sync mode, but the defibrillation is unsynchronized. No need to on sync mode. The next feature is energy. Energy, in the cardioversion we are using lower, mean we are giving 50 to 200 joules, but in the defibrillation higher. How much we are giving? 200 to 360 joules. So 50 to 200 in cardioversion, and in the defibrillation 200 to 360 joules. Then the next feature is consciousness. In the cardioversion, mostly patient is awake. Patient needs sedation in cardioversion, but in the defibrillation, patient is unconscious. Then the features, the last feature is used for. In which conditions we are using cardioversion? So we are using in the A, fibrillation, atrial flutter, SVT, supraventricular tachycardia, and VTach with pulse. But the defibrillation we are using for ventricular fibrillation and pulseless VTach. So ventricular fibrillation, VFib, DFib, and the pulseless ventricular tachycardia. So this is the difference between cardioversion versus defibrillation. That is very important points. That is all exam related. So you have to memorize this one. One memory trick I will give you there. Memory trick mean you just keep in your mind cardio equal conscious, and current we are giving to R wave. So cardio equal to how we can keep heart rhythm back, the normal heart rhythm back. Patient is conscious and we are giving current to the R wave. So current given on R wave mean synchronized. Our nursing responsibilities during this cardioversion, we have to check patient rhythm and vital signs and make sure defibrillator is on the sync mode. This why I am telling again because this is very important to on the sync mode. If we forget to on the sync mode, it should be dangerous for the patient. So always on the sync mode, give sedation as order, ensure safety, no one touching the patient during shock, monitor heart rhythm and blood pressure after the procedure. So synchronized cardioversion actually is a timed electrical shock for fast heart rhythm with the pulse. It's synchronized to the R wave to avoid dangerous rhythm and we are using for the AFib, SVT, VTEC with pulse. We have to need sedation and sync mode on for safety. Here I want to discuss about also medication used cardioversion. Medication used for cardioversion. So medication, as I told you, we are giving sedation and pain relief. Sedation and pain relief. So mostly we are giving midazolam for the sedation. We are also using sometimes propofol for the sedation, and we are giving fentanyl for the pain relief. Often used with sedation, this fentanyl injection. Then we are using anti-arrhythmias drugs before and after cardioversion. Anti-arrhythmias drugs. So we are using amiodarone. Amiodarone will control the ventricle and atrial arrhythmias. So we are using amiodarone, and we are also using lidocaine. Lidocaine used in ventricle tachycardia. Then we are using for procainamide. Procainamide we are using for wide complex tachycardia. Then we are using sotalol. Sotalol prevents recurrence after cardioversion. And yes, we are using also adenosine. Adenosine we are using for SVT, supraventricular tachycardia, before cardioversion, and that is diagnostic and therapeutic. So amiodarone, we are using lidocaine, using procainamide, sotalol, and we are using adenosine, but for the supraventricular tachycardia. We are not using for the ventricular tachycardia adenosine. Then very important, we are also using anticoagulants. Anticoagulants before cardioversion. This one we are using before cardioversion for atrial fibrillation. Keep in your mind the anticoagulants we are using before cardioversion for atrial fibrillation. If the patient has atrial fibrillation more than 48 hours. So it's mean patient have small clots maybe in the heart. So before shocking, doctor gives blood thinners to prevent stroke. If we did not give anticoagulants, the patient can goes under the stroke, and that is more dangerous. So we are always using anticoagulants if the patient has an atrial fibrillation more than 48 hours. So we are using warfarin. Warfarin given for 3 weeks before cardioversion. We are also using heparin or enoxaparin, that is short-term blood thinner, and we are also using apixaban. So heparin is short-term, and we are also using apixaban or the other name is also rivaroxaban. This is modern blood thinner. No need to check INR when we are using this one. So anyhow, mostly the warfarin is before 3 weeks we are starting, and the heparin is a short acting drug. So always giving anticoagulants before when cardioversion. If the patient has atrial fibrillation more than 48 hours, so we have to give at least 3 weeks before the cardioversion anticoagulants. So here I will add one more question here to understand more deeply the synchronized cardioversion. So a patient with unstable supraventricular tachycardia is scheduled for synchronized cardioversion. Which nursing action is most important before delivering the shock? So patient is unstable SVT, is already scheduled for synchronized cardioversion. What is the most important nursing action there? So we have 4 options there. Number 1, ensure that the defibrillator is set to the sync mode. Yes, this is our correct answer there, but we will check the 3 options, maybe more than important if we will comparison with this answer. So B, administer 1 milligram of epinephrine IV push. So this is incorrect because the epinephrine is used during cardiac arrest. For example, asystole, pulseless ventricle tachycardia or ventricle fibrillation. Not for the patient who is still perfusing with SVT, mean patient already has heart rate, but giving epinephrine here could worsen the tachycardia. So never give epinephrine when patient is with SVT and you are using synchronized cardioversion. So we are not using epinephrine in this situation. This is wrong option. Begin chest compression immediately. That is not correct option there because chest compression are also for cardiac arrest, mean there is no pulse. So if there is no pulse, in that condition we are giving chest compression. So patient, in this case the patient has unstable SVT, mean poor perfusion, low BP, but patient has still here the pulse. So cardioversion, not CPR. So we are giving here chest chest compression. In this condition that will worse the patient condition. Never give chest compression here. Number D, increase the energy setting to 360 joules. No, because 360 joules we are using for the defibrillation, not for the cardioversion. Cardioversion mostly we are using 50 to 200 joules or 50 to 200 joules we are using for cardioversion, and 360 joules we are using for the defibrillation. That's why this answer is also incorrect there. Ensure that the defibrillator is set to the sync mode. Yes, this answer is correct there because we have to always on the sync mode before deliver the shock. So our correct answer is here A. I make some flashcards related to synchronized cardioversion. These all flashcards are exam points. So be with me and try to memorize this all flashcards. This is a complete topic and I distribute in small questions. So our number 1 flashcard is, what is synchronized cardioversion? So synchronized cardioversion is, as I told you, is a medical procedure that delivered a time electrical shock. That delivered a time electrical shock to the heart to restore normal rhythm. So what is synchronized cardioversion? Is a medical procedure and it delivered a time electrical shock to the heart to restore the normal rhythm. So this is synchronized cardioversion. what rhythm required synchronized cardioversion mean which rhythms if is showing on the cardiac monitor, or if the patient have these rhythms, never always mean if the cardiac monitor is showing the rhythm, always check the leads first, everything is good, connection is good. So after confirmation you have to go to the next process. So what rhythm required synchronized cardioversion? So synchronized cardioversion is if patient have afibrillation, atrial flutter, if patient have SVT, supraventricular tachycardia, or if patient have VTach, that is unstable tachycardia but with pulse. So in this rhythms we are using synchronized cardioversion. Now the next is what rhythm require defibrillation instead of cardioversion. So which conditions we are using defibrillation, we are not using cardioversion. So the defibrillation we are using for the pulseless VTach. Pulseless. If patient don't have pulse, so pulseless ventricular tachycardia, and yes, we are using defibrillation for ventricular fibrillation condition. The fourth flashcard is what does synchronized mean in synchronized cardioversion. So what's the meaning of synchronized? So the shock is delivered in sync with the R wave. So the shock is delivering on the R wave of the ECG to avoid inducing ventricular fibrillation. Because if the electrical shock will not go to the R wave, is go to the T wave, then what will happen? The ventricular fibrillation can happen, and that will be the dangerous for the patient. Number 5 flashcard is what must always be turned on during synchronized cardioversion. So what we have to what must always be turned on during synchronized cardioversion? So sync mode always on the machine when we are giving synchronized cardioversion. The question number 6, the flashcard number 6, what should you do if sync mode is off? So turn it on before delivering the shock, otherwise the shock may occur randomly and cause ventricular fibrillation. So what should you do if the sync mode is off? We have to on the sync mode before delivering the shock. Number 7, what is the main difference between cardioversion and defibrillation? Our flashcard number 7. So cardioversion is synchronized with the heart rhythm and the defibrillation is unsynchronized. In the cardioversion we are using the sync mode, but in the defibrillation we are not using the sync mode, that is unsynchronized and used for pulseless rhythm. The main is the cardioversion unstable VTach but with pulse, but in the defibrillation pulseless ventricular tachycardia or the ventricular fibrillation. The number 8 is what medication are used before synchronized cardioversion. So we are using sedation, analgesics like midazolam, propofol, or like fentanyl. So we are using also antiarrhythmic medication like amiodarone we are using, and adenosine for the SVT. So these medications we are using for the synchronized cardioversion. Our flashcard number 9, why are anticoagulants used before cardioversion in atrial fibrillation? So we are using anticoagulants in the atrial fibrillation before cardioversion to prevent the stroke. So we are preventing the patient from stroke causing by dislodging blood clots in the atria during cardioversion. So one, if we will not use anticoagulants and we give cardioversion, the blood clot can travel to the atria and it can cause stroke. How long should anticoagulate, the flashcard number 10, How long should anticoagulation be given before cardioversion for atrial fibrillation lasting more than 48 hours? So at least if the patient have atrial fibrillation more than 48 hours, so at least 3 weeks of anticoagulation before cardioversion. So at least we are giving anticoagulation before 3 weeks of the cardioversion to prevent the stroke. Our question number, the flashcard number 11, what are the typical energy level for synchronized cardioversion we are using? So for the SVT or atrial flutter, if the patient have SVT or the atrial flutter, we are using 50 to 100 joules. For the this one, 50 to 100 joules. If patient have atrial fibrillation, we are using 120 to 200 joules. If patient have unstable VTach with pulse, we are using 100 joules. So if patient have SVT, we will use 50 to 100 joules. If patients have atrial fibrillation, we are using 120 to 200 joules. And if patient have unstable VTach with pulse, so we are using 100 joules. So this is the energy level that we are using during the synchronized cardioversion. Our question number 12 is the flashcard number 12. What safety check must be done before delivering the shock? So we have to ensure the sync button is on. That number one, that is very important. Then clear everyone from the patient and the bed. No anyone is touching to the patient and the bed. And then we have to remove oxygen mask from patient. If patient is using O2, we have to remove, and we have to check pads placement and connection. That is our responsibility to check the safety check before delivering the shock. Our flashcard number 13, what should the nurse monitor after the cardioversion? So what the nurse should have to monitor after cardioversion? Yes, we have to check the heart rhythm, the ECG pattern. We have to check blood pressure and pulse, oxygen saturation, signs of arrhythmia or recurrence. And we have to check level of consciousness after sedation, because we are using sedation for the cardioversion. Now, the flashcard number 14. What should be done if the rhythm does not convert after the first shock? So we have to increase the energy to the next recommended level and repeat the shock. So consider giving antiarrhythmic medications also. So as per the doctor orders, we have to increase the energy level, the next recommended level, whatever recommendation from the doctor side. So we have to increase the energy level. Question number, the flashcard number 15. What happen if shock is delivered on the T wave? So what will happen if the shock will not delivered on the R wave? If you forget to on the sync button, it can trigger ventricular fibrillation, a life-threatening rhythm that is very dangerous for the patient. Our question number 16. What are the nursing priorities during synchronized cardioversion? So what are the nursing priorities during synchronized cardioversion? We have to ensure safety of the patient and the staff. We have to monitor vital signs and ECG continuously, administer sedation if prescribed, prepare emergency equipment for defibrillation, because the heart rhythm can change anytime. So whenever we are giving cardioversion, the defibrillation should be ready to the patient bedside. The defibrillator pad should be attached. So all emergency equipment should be there, the crash cart. So everything should be there near to the patient. Question, the flashcard number 17. What is the main NCLEX danger sign during cardioversion? So what is the main NCLEX danger sign? The shock delivered on the T wave. So risk of ventricular fibrillation, that is the most danger sign. The flashcard number 18. What should you do if the patient become pulseless during procedure? Mean you are giving cardioversion, but suddenly the rhythm change. Patient have pulseless ventricular tachycardia or ventricular fibrillation. So what should we have to do? We stop cardioversion immediately and begin CPR and defibrillation because the rhythm is changed already. The flashcard number 19, what rhythm monitoring equipment is required during cardioversion? So we should have ECG monitor, pulse oximetry, and the all blood pressure monitoring, emergency, each and everything should be ready with the patient. Our last flashcard number 20, what NCLEX keyword tells you that synchronized cardioversion is needed? So unstable patient with the pulse or the tachydysrhythmias with the pulse. So in this condition we are using the cardioversion. I hope you like the lecture. If you like, please share and subscribe my YouTube channel, and don't forget to push the icon bell button so you can receive my coming videos notification. Thank you very much. Take care yourself and your family. Allah Hafiz.